Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Just take care of yourself, your family, and do not step outside until or unless it is very urgent. I'm your physics teacher, and today we will start first chapter of physics in class ninth, that is motion, which means we have to study about bodies which are moving. Just by looking at these two different situations, you can say that this ball is at rest while this car is moving. So now the question arises that when an object is said to be in motion. If you analyze these two situations, then you can clearly see that this car is moving as its position is changing with respect to its surrounding, like with respect to this traffic pole. While this ball is at rest as its position is not changing with respect to its surrounding. Hence, when position of an object changes with respect to its surrounding with time, that object is said to be in motion. If you look around yourself, then there are countless examples where one or the other thing is in motion. Like water is continuously moving in river, canal, ocean, etc. That's a kind of random motion. These children on swings are in periodic motion. All the hands of an analog clock are in periodic as well as circular motion. Even if we are at rest, but blood present in veins and arteries of our body flows and is continuously in motion. Right? Now just look around yourself. You can see table, bed, doors and many other objects which are at rest. But what if we look at the atomic scale of these objects? Yes, as all the matter is made up of atoms. So are these atoms at rest? No, they are in motion. Electron, proton and neutron present in an atom are also in motion. Now, can motion be inferred through indirect evidences? That means, can you feel motion of certain objects or bodies even though they don't appear to be in motion? Yes, motion can be felt through indirect evidences. Here are some examples. Motion of air. As we cannot see air, but we can feel its motion due to the movement of trees and dust particles around us. Similarly, our planet Earth, on which we live, is continuously revolving around Sun, which is not directly felt by us. Although motion of Earth can be felt due to changes in season after a regular interval of time. Also, Earth is continuously rotating on its own axis, due to which days and nights occur. Now, is this possible that an object is at rest and in motion at the same time for different observers? Yes, it is possible. Now we will see how. Look at this picture of a moving train where all the passengers are at rest with respect to one another. Like this lady is at rest for an observer who is also present inside the train. But the same lady is in motion if an observer is looking at the train while standing on platform. Hence, we can say that an object can be in motion and at rest at the same time for different observers. Till now, I hope you must have understood what is motion and how can we say that an object is in motion or at rest. Motion is classified into different categories like rectilinear motion, circular motion, rotational and periodic motion. Rectilinear motion means body which will move strictly in a straight line path. There are many more categories of motion like vibrational motion, oscillatory motion and so on. But in this chapter, we are mainly going to study rectilinear motion and we will be just introduced to circular motion in the end of this chapter. If a body is in motion, then how can we describe its motion or position? We can describe the position of body with the help of a reference point. Hence, to describe position of an object, we need to specify a reference point called as origin. Before describing motion, we must set up a coordinate system, that is, define an origin and a positive direction. For example, in this picture, this direction is taken as positive. And hence, direction opposite to this will obviously be negative. This point is known as origin or reference point. That means all the distances will be measured from this point. Now you must know one thing, that it's not necessary that initial position of the body is always same as origin. Yes, they can be different. Initial position of the body can lie on origin or any other point as well. Initial position is the point from where body start its motion. And final position is the point where the body finally stops. So in this example, this is origin, this is initial position for this man, and this is his final position. Okay? So thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we will learn the difference between distance and displacement. Till then, take care of yourself, stay safe and healthy.